Alright, so it's day 20, I think, and let us hope that it's not as uh, hard as yesterday and that it goes better than yesterday. So yesterday was a little bit challenging, but hopefully today is better. So, um, I think it will. And you know what? Yesterday was hard, but I feel like in some ways it was like really satisfying because I figured out something that I couldn't figure out for a while, and that's always a good feeling. So, let us see. The high-speed train in this forest quickly carries you south. You can even see a desert in the distance. Yes, for a time, I also see there's anything interesting in the image the satellite capture. After decoding the satellite images, you discover that the camera actually contains many small images created by the satellite's camera array. Camera array consists of many cameras. Rather than produce a single square image, they produce many smaller square tile images and you're assembled back in. Camera in the camera array returns a single monochrome image tile with random and unique ID number. Tiles arrive in random order. Worse yet, the camera array appears to be malfunctioning. Each image tile has been rotated and flipped in random orientation. Your first task is to reassemble the original image by orienting the tiles so that they fit together. To show how the tiles should be reassembled, each tile's image data includes a border that should line up exactly with its adjacent tiles. All tiles have this border, and this border lines up exactly when the tiles are both oriented correctly. Tiles at the edge of the image may also have this border, but the outermost edges won't line up. For example, suppose you have the following 9 tiles. This, 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 this. By rotating, flipping, and arranging them, you can find a square arrangement that causes all adjacent borders to line up. For reference, the IDs of the both tiles, the ability of IDs of 4 cardinals to has an image of these. Okay, so I'm copying and pasting so I can stall for time to think about how to do this, because it's not it's a complicated problem. So let me get some tiles to work with. And let us put this raw tile here. And to start with, let's do some, okay, by rotating, flipping, and rearranging them, you can find a square arrangement that causes all adjacent borders to line up. So one thing I would like to do is I would like to, from typing import named tuple, and we will say that tile is a named tuple. And why am I doing it that way? I don't know why I'm doing it that way, to be honest, but that's how I'll do it. And pixels is a list of strings. List and a tuple, k, and let's say an edge is a tuple of strings, and I'm doing that because I want to be able to stick them in a set, and edges, and let me do this. Def edges self returns edges in clockwise order, and it's going to be an iterator of edge, and so I want to yield tuple of self dot pixels 0 And let me do this. List literal 0 cannot be. I don't even know what that means, but I'm not going to worry about it. Tuple of row -1 for row in self.pixels. Type list. I don't even know what that means either. But my type checker is letting me down. Yield tuple of reversed of self.pixels -1 and yield tuple of row 0 for row in reversed self.pixels. Okay, so it's complaining about every single one of these. So I'm going to get rid of this type annotation and see if that makes it happier. No, it doesn't. Okay. All right. And the other thing I want to do is I want a tile has an ID as well. Tile ID, which is an int. I have no idea. That can be part of the problem. I don't even know what those errors mean, but that's all right. Static method parse, which is a raw tile, which is a string, and is going to return a tile. And let's say lines equals raw tile dot split on new lines, and let's say tile ID equals line 0 dot split -1 dot split -1, and I don't want the colon, and then I will put int on it. And then pixels equals lines 1 to the rest, and return tile ID pixels. Expected one is, oh, is this the issue? Duh. Okay, good. Type list string cannot be assigned to okay, good. So now I can parse these in, and I can return the edges. And so now what I want to do is and I basically I can flip it one way and I can flip it another way, and so that each tile is really 4 tiles. And how many tiles are here? 144 tiles, so that's 12 by 12. And there's a lot of different rotations, so I need to be a little bit smarter about that. This is actually quite a hard problem, so I don't like it. But let me do this. Flip LR bool equals false, flip, let me see, flip horizontal. Flip vertical, bool equals false. Okay, so if flip horizontal, then no. Else, so if I don't want to flip it horizontal, the top row goes in order and the bottom row goes in reverse order. Otherwise, if I flip it horizontal, I want to yield reversed self dot pixel 0 and yield tuple of self dot pixels -1. And if flip vertical, and again, I'll do an else with these two. And now if I were to flip vertical, then this one would be reversed and this one would not be. Got my things all mixed up. Okay. And def make tiles raw, which is a string, is going to return a list of tile. And let's say tiles raw equals raw.split on double new lines, and return tile.parse tile raw for tile raw in tiles raw. Okay, and so now let's say tiles equals make tiles raw, and let us see what's happening there. Okay, so now I have these tiles. Okay, so that seems right. And let's just say tile equals tile 0. Because I have this tile. And let's say list of tile dot edges. And that's definitely not right. So and that's not right because my pixels is like there's an error in my parsing function. Because the pixels are a list of lists where each list is a string. So why is that? Because I did split on spaces and I should have done split on nothing. So let's try that again. Empty separator. List line. Let me try that. Okay, that's good. And list of tile dot edges. And so I have that, and list of tile dot edges. Flip horizontal equals true. And if I flip horizontal now, the first one is in the opposite order and the third one is in the opposite. No, the second one is in the opposite order. Okay. This is going to be a hard problem. I have a It's possible I won't finish it tonight. But I think I need to change how the edges are. And so I'm going to call this addict from string to edge, and I'm actually going to change the way I did this too. Returns edges left to right and top to bottom, because I'm going to want to match them, and that's how I want to do it. So if I flip horizontal, I'm going to want to do reversed. And so let's say output equals this. If flip horizontal, output, actually, let me, wait, what happened? I don't want to do that. If flip horizontal, then okay, then top bottom equals let's say top is this and bottom is this, and I may not need to have these be tuples at all. Otherwise, if I don't flip horizontal, then I don't need to reverse these, so I'll just do left to right and left to right, and flip horizontal is not defined. If flip vertical, top bottom, then LR equals left and tuple, actually no, this is right. And left is and this again will be reversed, self.pixels. Otherwise, LR is going to be right and this guy and return top bottom and left right. Function with declared type must return value type none. Else is not accessed. Okay. So let me run this again. This. And now tile.edges. Top, bottom. let us let's just do that now. And from collections import counter, and let's say counter edge for tile in tiles for edge in tile.edges.values. And that's saying that there's a bunch that have 2s. Okay, and let me self flip horizontal, flip vertical, and rotate int equals 0. Okay, so now let's say results equals this, and for blank in range rotates results equals so when I rotate it, I'm going to say right is no, actually that's bad. I want to rotate it first, I think. For blank in range rotates self.pixels equals, why does it keep doing that? So it's possibly my least favorite thing. Self.pixels dot let me just do it this way. I have a grid and I want to turn it like this. So if I turn it like this, the first row is just going up the column. Or if I rotate it the other way, the first row is going down the last column. So that's easier, actually. Anyway. I'm going to go for C in range len self dot pixels 0. Rotated dot append row C for row in reversed self.pixels and I don't want to replace pixels. Pixels equals self.pixels. And now I can get rid of this, and I can, what happened? No, that's to get rid of all these self.pixels. If it seems like I'm floundering, that's because I am. And I'm really not making good progress on this problem again. It's like in the last 2 days they've gotten noticeably harder, or else I've gotten noticeably stupider, which is also possible. And now I broke that, and that's because I need to return that. Return that. Try it again. Edges, rotate equals 1, rotate equals 2. Okay, so now I want to solve this given some tiles, which is a list of tile. And it is going to return an int, let's say. But the solve, who knows what this is going to do. And so what I want to do is let's do a counter. From collections, import counter. And let's say counts equals, and again, counter edge for edge in not for edge in, for tile in tiles, for edge in tile dot edges dot values. And let's say keepers equals tile for tile, tile.id for tile in tiles if any counts dot edge for edge in tile dot edges dot values is bigger than 1. Okay. 0. And so print tiles equals tiles. So I'll just do that so I can paste with this. Function, right. Function object sorry, 2 days in a row where I'm not doing well. Okay, like I said, keepers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now len of tiles is 9. One, two, three, 4, 5. So let's go back and look at this problem now. By rotating, flipping, and rearranging them, you can find a square arrangement that causes all adjacent borders to line up. Okay. I'll just think about this some more before I give up. So I need to okay, so I need to change this totally because I don't like it. Def rotate self and int goes to a tile. Let's say pixels equals self dot pixels for blank and range rotates, or for range n rotated equals this, for c in range len pixel 0 rotated append row c for row inverse pixels equals rotated, and return self dot replace pixels equals pixels. Def flip horizontal self, and that's going to go to a tile as well. And let's say pixels equals list reverse row for row in self dot pixels, and again return self dot replace pixels equals pixels. And flip vertical self is going to go to a tile. And let's say, how do I flip this vertically? To flip it vertically, it's pixels equals list of reversed does reversed return a list automatically? Maybe it does. Reversed 1, 2, 3. No, it's a reverse iterator, so you gotta wrap it in list. Okay, so return self dot replace pixels equals pixels. Okay, so that allows me to flip it vertically, and now I can just return top equals tuple of self.pixel0, bottom equals tuple of self.pixels minus 1, and self.pixels, and left is, that shouldn't be reversed, that should just be self.pixels. Okay, so let's try this again. So let's say keepers equals tile for tie and tile, okay, and let's say left out equals tile for tile in tiles if tile not in keepers. Left out and let's say keep counts equals for tile in keepers. And now this is not what I want to do, but I'm just going to try it out. For flip vertical in true false, for tile in left out, for flip vertical in true false, if flip vertical tile equals tile dot flip vertical, for flip horizontal in true false, if there's probably a less stupid way to do this, tile equals tile dot flip horizontal, and now for rotate in 0, 1, 2, 3, tile equals tile dot rotate, matches equals some edge in keep counts for edge in tile dot edges dot values, and then print flip vertical flip, horizontal, rotate, and matches. Okay. So let's run this and do solve the tiles. Function at, God, why do I keep making this mistake? Because edges shouldn't be a function, and because I called it that and I'm confusing myself. So true, true, 0, I get, so false, false, 0, I should get, how do I get one match with false, false, 0? Let me paste this. Okay, so none of them are in keep counts. So now, why did I get false, false, 0, 1? Let me try this one more time. Why am I making these tuples when I should have just made them strings? That would be so much easier. Be like a million times easier to read. Okay, let's try this again. So he got, so now let's do counts, and counts is wrong too. Why is this? There's something wrong, and okay, and now keeper 0 dot edges, no, left out 0 dot edges, and those don't agree with each other. and they don't agree with each other because why don't they agree with each other? That one's fine. That one's fine. But two of them are backwards. And two of them are backwards because so those look correct. To flip vertical, I just reverse the rows. And to flip horizontal, I no, that's not right. Okay, tile dot flip horizontal dot show. So that looks like it's flipped horizontal. Tile dot flip vertical dot show. That looks good. Tile dot rotate one dot show. Let's see. Tile dot show. So the rotation. So those all look good. So why is this not working? Counts equals count the edges. Keepers equals anyone that has an edge with counts bigger than 1. Left out equals tile for tile and tiles if tile is not in keepers. Keep counts equals so it's saying that this one is in keep counts. So why is that giving me a reverse? Tile left out, flip vertical and true false if flip vertical tile equals tile flip vertical. Horizontal flip horizontal tile equals tile horizontal. for rotate in 0, tile equals tile dot rotate. For rotate in range 4. That's the problem, I think. Okay. Yes. So now what happened? Oh, true. Counts equals that. If all v equals 2 for v in counts.values, print yay and return. Otherwise, keepers equals keep. Let's see. Tile equals min tiles. Key equals lambda t sum count edge for edge in t dot edges dot values. Okay, so find the one that has the least matching edges. Print tile dot id. Keep counts is counter edge for tile in tiles if edge for t in tiles if t not equals to tile for edge in t dot edges dot values. For iter tools, perms equals iter tools dot product of true false, true false, 1, 2, 3. And self do bool equals false. If do else self dot. This will just make our life easier. do bool equals false. This reversed self dot pixels if do else self dot pixels. And rotate and yes. Okay, good. And let's say transforms equals tile dot flip time. Tile dot flip horizontal do h dot flip vertical do v dot rotates I for do h do v I in perms. Okay, and best equals max transforms key equals lambda t sum keep counts e for e in t dot edges dot values. And let's say tiles equals t for t in tiles if t is not equal to tile, tiles dot append best. What a mess. Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, well that didn't work. Print worst tile print best transform best. So let's try that and see what it does. Seems to be going in some kind of cycle maybe. I don't know. It's it's not doing any transforms. That's the problem. So why is that? I don't know. But you know what? It's 10 p.m. so calling it quits for the night. And sorry I didn't solve it. I'll think about it more tomorrow.